A pile of cash found stuffed in a trash can. Officers say it's a little more than $500,000.
Virginia Beach police seized more than 100 pounds.
And there's some breaking news we want to tell you about. Deputies seized drugs, guns, and cash.
$6 million worth of cocaine is out of circulation. Federal law enforcement seized 159 kilos.
Found tons of cash and
inside one Virginia Beach business.
Norfolk DEA and U.S. Customs and Border Patrol joined Suffolk Police for this investigation. Authorities say the operation targeted a notorious drug trafficking organization.
Federal agents in Virginia have arrested several alleged members of Brooklyn's Poison Clan. Authorities say the suspects were taken into custody during coordinated raids.
George Chang, known as Stretch, was a young Chinese-Jamaican raised in Brooklyn, New York. In the late 1980s, Chang, alongside neighborhood friends, founded the Poison Clan. Under Chang's direct leadership, the Poison Clan established a highly lucrative and large-scale cocaine distribution network centered around East Flatbush, Brooklyn, specifically operating around Church Avenue, Troy Avenue, and the 90s blocks, making $10,000 to $20,000 a day as youngsters. As the organization grew more profitable, internal beefs began to fracture the crew's leadership. On New Year's Day, January 1st, 1989, Chang was shot and killed. Federal conspiracy indictments later identified uncharged co-conspirator as the individual who murdered Chang. Following Chang's death, the Poison Clan lost its central leadership and split into two separate, violent drug syndicates, the Boston Syndicate and the Virginia Syndicate.
Virginia Beach police seized more than 100 pounds.
And there's some breaking news we want to tell you about. Deputies seized drugs, guns, and cash.
The Virginia expansion of the Poison Clan began as a strategic pipeline in July 1988, while George Stretch Chang was still alive, but exploded into a full-scale regional monopoly under Dean Beckford following Chang's 1989 assassination. Federal investigators and court transcripts from the Eastern District of Virginia detail how the gang systematically moved from Brooklyn to dominate the mid-Atlantic crack cocaine market. Instead of operating through local street dealers in Virginia, Dean Beckford imported a highly structured crew directly from New York. In the summer of 1988, Beckford relocated an initial wave of loyal Brooklyn workers to Richmond, Virginia. Trusted associates were sent south to set up trap houses and handle high-volume crack distribution. They established a massive distribution network in the Belmead neighborhood and around areas like Tifton Court and Sugar Bottom. Once the Richmond operation was secure, the crew expanded into Virginia Beach. The crew was buying an average of 10 kilos a week of raw powder to avoid the strict interstate crack laws. Once in Virginia, they would then cook up raw, making them over $100,000 weekly. In August 1996, federal authorities unsealed a massive 32-count indictment. It charged 23 members of the Poison Clan with racketeering, continuing criminal enterprise, assault, and weapons violations. The crew was officially linked to at least 7 drug-related murders in Richmond and Virginia Beach, though investigators suspected them in up to 30 killings across the East Coast. The leaders, brothers Dean Beckford and Devin Chubby Beckford, were identified as the co-leaders who assumed power and orchestrated the interstate expansion after George Chang's 1989 assassination. To dismantle a syndicate known for extreme violence and witness intimidation, the government relied heavily on flip witnesses and cooperative co-conspirators. One of the original Poison Clan founders was arrested in New York and began cooperating with federal prosecutors and provided crucial grand jury testimony detailing the inner workings of the crew. He also provided inside information regarding George Stretch Chang's murder, identifying the shooter. Court documents detailed how the Beckford brothers ruthlessly eliminated competition. For instance, In December 1993, Devin Beckford ordered the execution of a rival dealer and anyone else inside a Richmond property who refused to sell crack for the Poison Clan. In July 1997, a federal grand jury returned guilty verdicts against the core leadership. Because of the extreme violence involved, the trial moved into a federal death penalty phase for 4 of the defendants. While prosecutors sought the death penalty, the jury ultimately opted for life sentences without parole. While the Virginia wing was dismantled because of the Beckford trials, the Boston syndicate faced a separate demise.
Breaking tonight, a major drug bust.
And what they say is one of Boston's biggest drug busts in years.
They were kilo-weight suppliers at the top of the domestic supply chain.
This gang controlled a drug trafficking network in Boston.
They say they recovered 24 kilos of cocaine worth millions on the street. 14 people were arrested in the operation.
In Boston, Katie Brace, WBZ News.
The Boston branch brought in nearly $20,000 a day selling crack cocaine. The high-volume revenue was made possible by Sean Henry, a founding member who acted as the primary plug. Henry was buying multiple kilos from New York and transported it up to the outskirts of Boston. The crew used modified cars with secret compartments to transport the product. They then hired local dealers from the Boston area to handle street-level distribution. George "Stretch" Chang was a notorious and feared Brooklyn gangster who served as the original leader and founding member of the Poison Clan, a violent drug trafficking organization that operated during the height of the New York crack epidemic in the late 1980s. Despite being one of the youngest in the crew, with many of his peers being nearly a decade older, George had the extreme willingness to engage in gunplay, and it quickly elevated him to the position of leader. Under his leadership, the gang controlled massive, highly lucrative operations, distributing large amounts of crack cocaine across Brooklyn. George became a millionaire at a young age and had a presence in the hip-hop scene. Legendary rapper LL Cool J dedicated his song Homicide to him.
It didn't show how Tony Montana got those big duffel bags full of money. They dropped the birds off to niggas like me and you. We sold it. Our people.
That's right. The cash was stuffed in 4 large duffel bags.
Young kids across America made a decision to escape poverty by any means necessary. With America being the #1 consumer of drugs, the game begins. The game begins. The game begins.
No, hustler's anybody, like you can be a hustler. A hustler is anybody that gets up every single day and figures out a way to make good for themselves in this society. Hustler's anybody who has the drive to make something happen for himself. It so happened for us being in the street, hustler meant that we had to find a different way because there were no jobs available. You know, the school system was shot. You know, so we had to hustle to find a different way to make means for ourselves.
Which we call the American
hustlers. If you believe, then you too can be a hustler.
By any means necessary.
Hustlers. Republicans and Democrats.
Conservatives, labor, the seller, the buyer, the product, the producer. So you are what you are.
Hustlers.
Is absorbed and adored by those that don't understand the laws that govern.
Hustlers.
Allows you to make up your own laws and create brand new works.
Hustlers. The mentality. An American way. If you believe, then you too can be a hustler. Damn, it feels good.
Damn, it feels good to be a
hustler.